So joining me now is Luke Johnstone, who's just been named Young Entrepreneur of the Year at the Amazon Growing Business Awards. So Luke, first of all, your reaction to the win?
I have to admit, I'm really surprised. There were some absolutely fantastic candidates, but it is the best surprise I could possibly ever have. I'm over the moon, and what it can do for my business is absolutely incredible. So I'm chuffed with it.
So what do you think the impact of the award will be for you?
So for us, one of our biggest challenges has been not so much getting on the supermarket shelves because we've got a great product. The supermarkets love it, so they stock it. The biggest challenge has been actually bringing awareness to the product because we're a small business through the Prince's Trust. We don't have the funds of other larger companies that are on the supermarket shelves. So Amazon gives us that platform and that awareness that we wouldn't otherwise necessarily have.
So what's been you're obviously a new business, but what's been the secret to your success so far? You say you're in supermarkets. What do you think the one thing has been that has got you to where you are now?
I think the biggest thing that I've learned along the way is how important tenacity is and resilience. So we originally started out as a market stall through the Prince's Trust. I had to move home and live in my family's shed at the end of the garden for 2 years with a freezer in there, working there every day with my best friend Alex. And we had some really tough moments where we thought it was never ever going to make it, and we continue to have tough moments, but it's having the faith in the product and the ability to have the resilience to battle through those tough times, because ultimately it pays off in the end.
What do you think the one thing has been which has seen you through those tough times in your shed?
I think it's the bigger purpose. It's the belief that this is ultimately the best chance I'll ever have to have a positive impact on the world in a really big way. And knowing that you're not just creating a product, you're creating a bigger movement and a mission and something that can ultimately lead to the greater good. And this is the best shot I've got at it, so it's the one chance.
So obviously you had a good idea to begin with. Do you think there was enough help out there to get your idea out there and get it onto the supermarket shelves?
The Prince's Trust were fantastic in giving us the help and stability to reach a few mentors and to get the advice we needed, as was Virgin Startup, as was a place called Startup Kitchen. And so there are a few networks out there that are very good for giving you advice and guiding you along the way. It still took us a lot longer than it should have, because partly we didn't have the funds that we needed. So funding for early startups is a big thing that we really needed the help with early on, and it would have fast-tracked our service. But there was help, but it was just finding that help. The navigating the startup world and navigating the food world when you've not worked in it before is a lot about going down dead ends and realizing that's not the path to follow. So next time, if I launch a new product or a new business, I'll be able to do it in half the time because I've learned so much along the way.
So obviously you've been named Young Entrepreneur of the Year at the Amazon Growing Business Awards, so all about businesses who are striving to get bigger. What's the one bit of advice that you would give to a startup to get their product out there?
So one of the best things that I've learned along the way is speak to as many people as you possibly can. People in the startup industry, especially in the food industry, from what I know, are often of a very young, similar age, and they're all so open to giving advice to people that approach them and approach them out of the blue and say, hey, look, I've got this great idea. I'm a young guy. I'm trying to start up in this world. You've been there, you've done it. Please, can you give me some insight and some advice from your experience? And that's been the best thing we've ever done.
So let's talk about the present economic climate just for a little bit. Obviously, some people say there is some uncertainty around after Brexit and the election of Donald Trump in the US. Do you think it's a good situation for business or bad for business at the moment, or is it just not that black and white?
So it's an uncertain time, so it's not completely black and white. For us, the direct impact we've seen, first of all, is there has been a rise in our prices, our cost of goods, which we're battling very hard to not have to pass on to the consumer, and we think we'll be able to do that. But it's a time where there could be huge opportunities. We've recently been in discussions with companies in America, and with the Trump situation, we don't know what's going to pan out there, but there could be opportunities with America. So we've got immediate short-term costs that are there, but there does seem to be potential opportunities going forward. So it's a challenging time, it's an uncertain time, but it's also a time of potential opportunity if you capitalise on it in the right way.
So what do you think the biggest challenges will be for you going forward?
So the biggest challenge we face right now is funding. We've got a business that's got great listings, we've got good customers, we've got great potential, but we don't yet have the budget to really market a product and to create the brand awareness that we need. So we're looking to raise finance in January, and that will give us the extra boost that we need to really grow as fast as we'd like to.
Okay, Luke Johnstone, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.